What if I told you a single firearm helped prevent a possible massacre and shape the destiny of an entire continent? Sounds like something out of a Hollywood thriller, doesn't it? But this incredible story is as real as the air you breathe. Brace yourselves for the mind-blowing tale of the Vickers K machine gun, also called the K-gun, a weapon whose legacy stretches far beyond the battlefield. Here's how. In 1936, a period marked by brewing global tensions, this unassuming machine gun earned its place in history in a way most people have never heard about. Let's set the scene for you. The mid-1930s was an era of global unrest. Europe was a powder keg waiting to explode, and across the Atlantic, the U.S. was still recovering from the Great Depression. Nations like Italy, under Mussolini's rule, sought dominance in parts of Africa, specifically Ethiopia. The Second Italo-Ethiopian War broke out, and within months, Ethiopia faced military devastation due to Italy's advanced weaponry, including tanks and airplane bombers. Ethiopia's resistance was courageous, yet admittedly outgunned on practically every level. How does the Vickers K machine gun tie into this, you might wonder? Well, here's where things get fascinating. The Royal Air Force, RAF, in Britain, began to modernize its arsenal in the early 1930s, deciding that speed and adaptability were essential for urban warfare and aviation defense. Enter the Vickers K, a lightweight, air-cooled, gas-operated machine gun initially designed for aircraft. By all accounts, it wasn't enormously powerful. It didn't shoot gold bullets, nor did it bend gravity. Its claim to fame? Its blazing fast rate of fire, an incredible 950 rounds per minute when most other guns maxed out between 450 and 600 rounds. But here's the kicker. Speed matters. Incredibly, a few covert shipments of this extraordinary firearm made their way into ammunition-starved Ethiopian resistance forces through unusual international aid channels. And that's where history bends, at least slightly. Ethiopian freedom fighters ingeniously mounted Vickers K guns to rudimentary vehicles, creating what were essentially accidental technicals decades before those would become an actual military term. Mobile, highly effective, these homemade fire trucks could ambush Italian encampments, with the K-gun's unparalleled firing speed allowing them to disrupt enemy formations and supply chains before disappearing into the mountains. Conventional history might overlook these details, but accounts from Ethiopian guerrilla fighters reveal something compelling. The versatility and uniquely high-speed burst of the Vickers K actually bought Ethiopia valuable time on multiple fronts. People forget war isn't always won through total victory. Sometimes it's about stalling for survival. That's precisely what the Vickers K did for Ethiopia. It bought the resistance enough days and continued worldwide sympathy against fascist tyrannies for Ethiopia to retain a semblance of national identity, even after they lost full sovereignty during the Italian occupation. What followed later was equally pivotal. When World War II erupted, these earlier stories of Ethiopia as an early anti-fascist fighting ground gained renewed attention. This directly influenced the Allied forces, eventually helping liberate the region entirely in 1941. Today, the K-gun sits as more than just steel. It represents what happens when human ingenuity works against impossible odds, an unsung hero in the shadows of more headline-worthy tools of war. Very few modern enthusiasts or collectors even know about its dramatic history beyond serving in British bombers or jeeps during World War II. Yet, its contribution to Ethiopia's fight for dignity and freedom is the mark of this machine at its peak. Pause and reflect for a moment. A metallic tube no longer than your forearm helped stave off a more extended, darker era for an entire nation. An artifact whose mechanics reverberated far beyond its barrel's length. It makes you wonder, how many other small tools in history have swung the pendulum of change without a proper salute from historians or the public? The Vickers K stands as a testament to resilience, innovation, and the refusal to be silently overrun. and now you know its story. What other hidden tales of firearms are waiting to shake the foundations of what you think you know? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories of the firearms that shaped our world. See you in the next episode, where another fascinating weapon awaits to tell its story. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the reason you start looking at history differently every time you pick up a story of war, peace, and ingenuity. Stay tuned.